Okay, so we're going to see how well the Gobege portable air compressor will inflate a P265 17 inch rim tire. This is a pretty popular tire on a lot of two-wheel drive trucks, SUVs. So we got it connected. Let's see how long it takes. We're going to get our timer out, and if we can find that, get our stopwatch. So we're going to flip it on and see how long it takes. Okay, so that took 2 minutes and 56 seconds, and according to the gauge we have about 35-ish psi. So that was pretty quick. One thing to note, that the gauge is a little hard to read. It's a 250 psi increment gauge, so it is a little difficult to read the exact accurate measurement, so make sure you get a tire pressure gauge and gauge the tire as you go along. So also, a couple things get warm. The motor head, or the compressor end here, is pretty hot. The hose is hot, which is common. Actually, this unit is actually pretty quiet. It's quieter than another unit I got. So let's jump over and check it out on a 35-inch tire. Okay, so we're over here on a 35 1250 on a 17-inch rim, and as you can see, the tire is flat. There's less than 5 psi in this tire. Obviously this is a more extreme than if you were just going to air the tire down for off-road use, but we got it connected. Let's see how long it's going to take for the Gobege to air up this 35-inch tire. Okay, so we are at approximately 30-ish psi, which is where I run these tires. I don't run them at 35. I run all four at 30 psi. Again, the gauge is a little difficult to read. I think if one improvement they could make was to put a different gauge on here. But we at 3 minutes and 49 seconds. Okay guys, I'm Arthur and you're watching Georgia 4 Low, and this was a demonstration of the Gobege air compressor, heavy duty air compressor for off-road use or just around the house, everyday use. 12-volt compressor, it's 150 psi. It is 45 amps, so depending on how much work you're going to be doing with this, you may want to leave the engine running on the vehicle that you're using it from, but definitely can air up single tires, multi-tires, handles a lot of different tasks for you. It also moves 6.35 CFM, which is really good. Obviously it looks just like any other unit that you may see on the internet, all over Amazon. It looks just like a Smitty built air compressor. It does have the isolators here on the bottom. There's rubber feet on the bottom as well. This mounting plate is already pre-drilled if you wanted to mount this somewhere in the vehicle. Nice little off and on switch. There's a circuit breaker here. You got an 8-foot power lead with alligator clips. As earlier, when we were airing up the 35-inch tire, we were on the driver's side of the Jeep. This was sitting on the ground. These power cables were still long enough to go to the passenger side for the battery. The hose, I believe this was 24 or 26 feet hose, so it's plenty long enough. It's got a nice little quick disconnect on the end for connecting up here to the outlet. One thing I think I may do in the future, this is just that basic thread-on valve that all these units seem to have. I wouldn't mind replacing this in the near future, putting me some kind of quick disconnect, and I may end up putting a different gauge on here, a little bit better reading gauge, smaller increments, and just improve the functionality of connecting it, disconnecting it, and then the gauge. But I really prefer this hose over the accordion style hoses. So this would be plenty of hose to get you around the vehicle, and I think this is going to be a great addition to our Yukon. If you notice and been keeping up with some of our other videos, we've been doing some traveling in the Yukon. So this may be a unit that goes in the Yukon, because we're going to get a boat and we're going to be trailering the boat at different places. So having this in the Yukon, some tire repair kit, things like that, will allow us to get our vehicle or the boat trailer off the side of the road and continue traveling. But pretty nice looking unit. It's heavy. It feels nice. There's no branding or badging on it other than this label here. But for 150 bucks, it's a pretty good unit. But I will leave a link down below in the description. Sometimes you can catch the unit on sale, but at the time this was $150. And hey, thanks for watching. Drop a comment below if you have any experience with the Gobege air compressor, or let me know what you're using, and drop that comment below, and let's start a conversation. Thanks for watching.